Tape marker. Malcolm and review, guys. Action. Let's go. What's going on, guys? I'm Ryan D, aka Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, that cat Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. This is our review, guys, of Malcolm and Marie when they test their relationship after a movie premiere of John David Washington, his very own film, guys. Let's get right to it. Hope you're ready for this review, guys. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get started. Guys, I'm Ryan D, aka Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, that cat Ange.
And this is Alamo City Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans, guys. You bring the movie world right into your ears, devices. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Let's get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Man, what a film, Angela. I know we were anticipating this movie when they first revealed images of, still images of this film. And back in, I was so excited to know that they were both going to be a part of this. And then furthermore, I found out that Sam Levinson, which is written and directed, which has done Euphoria, it's done the great HBO show that we love and that we really do cherish a lot. We really have high expectations going into this already, obviously, because of Euphoria and everything. And Zendaya is in here, of course, and their combination together is so good, very well on TV, on HBO Max, HBO original series Euphoria, and we saw her how much she's really expanded as an actress per se, and it just really ignites the whole fire that she's giving out there. And just I really did love her in Euphoria. I know we both did. We enjoyed her in Euphoria, along with the other cast and crew, of course, as well. But it just, here's the thing: is it's one of those situations to where, just because you're working with the same director and same actress, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work out, but in this case it really does, and it does very well. We see John David Washington, Denzel's son, which is funny because when did we watch Ballers? I forgot how long ago we watched Ballers, which is another HBO show with Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and we're all like, we were looking up the cast one night. I kid you not, true story. I know we're gonna get so much hate on this, obviously, but when we were looking through the cast, we're all like, okay, and then I was just like, wait, that's Denzel's son. And I was like, what? No, it's not.
We didn't put two and two together. John David Washington, Denzel Washington. That's our bad.
Yeah. Well, it's just, I mean, I've been known to where, like, just because they have the same last name doesn't necessarily mean they're related, right? I mean, that's, of course. But yeah, so let's get right to it. Malcolm and Marie, I really loved how this film was really shot in classical format, ladies and gentlemen. It was really
black and white.
Yeah, black and white. I love that though, because it really puts so much perspective, it puts so much on the two leads. It really did in this film.
I also like the black and white. I feel like it adds sexiness, mystery, I guess you could say. Also, like maybe like the Hollywood glamour.
It adds that drama for sure.
It does. I feel like, especially since it's the movie is about John David Washington. He's a director, and they just coming home from his movie premiere. So it has like that Hollywood glamour aspect to it. So I really like that. I really like the choice that they went with that in the editing and stuff. I also really like that it wasn't, not really actiony. It was all dialogue. Now, it's, heated dialogue most of the time.
I call it action dialogue.
But it is very like all dialogue, all story, it's in the sense of we piece together each person's background just from what is heard in the heat of arguments and stuff.
Yes.
So I really like that.
That first 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to get you hooked on right away. I mean, I felt like for us, it really did. Some stuff was comparable. You guys would know what we're talking about. And some stuff was relatable. Some stuff, not the whole thing, obviously. I mean, that'd be crazy. But it's one of those situations to where, like, what aspect do you get out of this? And I felt like, I mean, it's both of them together. We knew it was gonna be both of them together. One shot, one set. And it's funny too because there's no supporting roles. It's literally both of them.
They're the only two characters.
They're the only two characters. So it's a lot of pressure putting on Zendaya and putting on John David Washington just to entertain us, really. And I love that because they do it. I mean, John David Washington, it's funny. Okay, let's go and let's digest this film. we see both of these people, ladies and gentlemen, both of them mention a lot of what critics are talking about, and it's a lot of stuff and a lot of racial stuff that they mention, political stuff, and John D. Washington really puts a perspective in mind. He's just like, wow, what the heck, like
in a surprisingly funny way. Like there's a lot of surprise. I know it's a drama, romance, but it has a lot of
his
humor.
Character is more like me, in a sense to where. He goes on this huge rant, multiple rants, I would say. Well, probably like 5 or 6 of them, if I counted them correctly. And it was just done very well, man. John D. Washington, you're just awesome at it. I love that. And we see Zendaya go on her rants as well. I love how they were just sharing each other's moments and letting them speak in each other's moments, you know? And then that was really good to see.
I really like the part, no spoiler, but there's a part where she's acting, so she's an actress acting out a scene, but she's really an actress in an actress movie.
Yeah,
so it's very, a weird. It's really speaks to her level of how well of a performer she is. She's able to do that, and I really like that. Like this little scene. But I think overall, like they portray each characters very well. Like I said, it's really relying on dialogue strongly.
Yeah. A lot of symbolism in here for sure.
A lot of symbolism.
For sure.
Like I said, it has surprising bits of humor in it. Like this felt like a real couple, and like this is a real argument.
Yes.
It does get dark in a lot of certain points in the film. But I really like how, we see that, it's not always, I think that's why I don't romance movies, because they always show the good, like it's sugar coated. This is true love, happily ever after. It's not always the case. We don't get to see those arguments. Now I don't want to say that it's healthy, but we do get to see the dark side of this particular relationship, and I really like seeing that that other side of it, the other perspective. Yeah, and
to know that we really have that high emotional aspect of Sam Levinson, and to know that Zendaya just got done back in early 2020 that she just got done filming that Rue episode, that Rue special, and now they filmed this in from April to September, and I mean, obviously it's quarantine, man. It's a one set, one shot, and Sam Levinson goes on saying that I don't think it would have been possible without everyone being quarantined and everything, without that situation, and that's the thing about all these obviously we're still in a pandemic, but you turn it somewhat into a positive, or you work around it and all that stuff. That's you keep on going, man. You keep pushing yourself no matter what, guys. But yeah, so I just, I really did enjoy going back to John D. Washington. I love his rants. Oh my gosh, I loved it. Yeah, this music in here was done very well, man. Sam Levinson has really done good music in Euphoria. Good selection. This one, we got James Brown, which is a really good song out of there. Very observed on certain aspects in this film. Very, very, you got to really observe everything. And I feel like there's symbolism in the black and white. I feel like sometimes it's just black and white. Sometimes it's not really there. And they mention a lot on the racial stuff, on just
political stuff,
on political stuff. Just because it's a black actor and a black director doesn't necessarily mean it has to be political or a race thing. It could just be a plain old story that you want to share and share your whole vision in this film. And that's what John David Washington really gives in this rant, and I love that about it, because sometimes it's just a simple story. It doesn't have to have a motive. Just sometimes
that was his main rant out of all the rants. That was his main one, where it was just a simple story.
Yeah.
Why does the press? Why do reviewers? Why do people who are viewing this? Why do they look into it more than it should be?
Exactly, and that's what we see a lot more as far as critics and everything. Not necessarily just blaming it on critics. No, it's just people in general.
It's just interesting to see that other perspective. Like obviously us as critics, we read into things, but we really don't know what the director or writer or producer or whatever was thinking when they were making this film. We can only assume from our experience, our perspective, but it's funny to see how the reviewers review his film.
Yeah.
And then he does not agree with it. It's just really funny to see that.
This film is definitely an emotional roller coaster, I would say. Very, very emotional, and I love it because it touches up on a lot of realism here. It touches up on a lot of anxiety. It touches up on a lot of issues. Depression. It talks, addiction. Yeah, it talks a lot of major points that really affect. I mean, obviously they're not married, but it affects marriages, relationships. Everything. Every type of relationship, really. When it comes to friends, when it comes to boyfriend, girlfriend, married couples, it really affects it all. And I love that because this film really touches up on all those aspects. Oh, excuse me. Oh, yeah. So it really touches up on that. I was coughing on my own spit. I don't know how the heck I did that. But yeah, I love how this film was very done well, put together. I really did love how it was shot. I loved how it was just really just in this nice house. And here's the thing. Okay, so it didn't change. I thought for some reason in my back of my mind, I was like, it's gonna change color at the very end of this movie. And obviously, and not to mention, we're not gonna mention the spoilers or nothing like that, of course. But I was very surprised at the end at how the outcome of this film really happened. I don't know if y'all gonna feel the same way, or you're gonna say it's gonna feel very predictable. But in a sense, to where I was very settled with this ending, I would say. I mean, it was not too bad. I mean, it was formatted pretty good.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't want an over the top ending either. It's just you can only go so far when you're just shot at one set. So
yeah, and with the plot, how it unfolded, the story, how it unfolded, you can only do so much. It was okay. It was you had to end it somehow.
Exactly.
I wasn't overly thrilled with it, but it had to end, and so I think it's a happy ending in my perspective. I don't know. It's up to the jury's out on that one. But I mean, I think it's a solid ending for what we were given. Maybe it's meant to be ambiguous. It's up to your interpretation of what goes on. But overall, I liked the black and white. I really liked the chemistry between the two characters, two actors.
I know when I first saw the still, I told Angela, I was all like, because of his beard, it kind of feels like, and Zendaya looks so young, it feels like it's like
the age difference.
Yeah, there's a huge age difference. It just felt awkward. I'll just say that.
But I know you felt that way, but
on camera,
seeing
totally
the
different.
film,
On camera, it's totally different.
The chemistry is a lot
Again,
better.
An image says 1,000 words, but footage shows 1,000,000 words. I mean, yeah, for sure. But yeah, all right. Was this the film that we needed, Angela?
Sure,
yeah,
why not?
I think pandemic, yes.
Yeah, I mean, these are two great actors. Yeah. The director was, he's done great work. So yeah, why not? I mean, and this is definitely a different take than what we're used to. It's definitely something different. I think we definitely deserve to hear this particular story.
I always encourage everyone to give Zendaya a chance. I know a lot of people, they haven't really watched Euphoria. They don't give it a chance. And I'll just say, just check out Euphoria, guys, if you have not already. It's a really strong... if you think this is an emotional roller coaster, that one is just a huge shipwreck on an iceberg. It's like Titanic emotional roller coaster. And,
also what makes it so heartbreaking and hard to watch is these are happening to teenagers.
Yeah, it's very tough.
Yeah, it's very tough to watch that in the show.
On everything. Everything, guys. If you have not seen it, it touches up on a lot of stuff. And I just, it's one of those things to where that it really hits you on another level, I would say. And it really just like, damn, like, wow. And it's not just one character, it's all of them. It's every single one of those characters. And you start caring for every single one of those characters. But we'll talk about Euphoria Season 2, which we cannot wait to see. We cannot wait to see that. But yeah, we'll talk about that on another video. But hey, subscribe and we'll talk about it, guys, with you. All right, this was definitely the film that we deserved, right, Angela? Let's say yeah.
I would say yes.
Yeah. All right, ratings, Angela. Ratings, 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. What are you going to give the rating?
I think it's a solid 7. Okay. I really enjoyed it. Again, it was just these two characters, totally reliant on them. They both delivered. The way it was shot, it was beautifully done. The set was nice. It was a beautiful home. I wish I could live there. And overall, the story was solid. I mean, it just had relied on dialogue, but it kept me entertained. I wanted to know what happened. I cared for each of these characters. Yeah. I wanted them to work out, but then I didn't. It was just like an emotional roller coaster. I cried a couple times.
Yeah, a lot of character development here. They grew as a relationship, and they grew as individuals.
Even though it's set in one night,
it's a lot.
You see them both kind of grow a little bit in just that one night, just a few hours, which it's only an hour and a half maybe.
Yeah,
so 40 minutes.
Film runtime is currently an hour and 46 minutes, which is perfect runtime. I think if it would have gone 2 hours, I think it would have been drag.
Yeah, I think it would have been dragging. I mean, you get a lot out of almost 2 hour film. Yeah. But I think it's a solid 7 overall. I think a well-rounded film.
For sure, guys. All right, if you have not already, you know what? I forgot to give my rating. Oh my gosh. Man, okay. So I'm going to give it a solid 7 as well. I really did enjoy this movie. I'm gonna stick with my gut right here. Solid 7 just came straight to my mind after watching this film. Zendaya just gave a really good performance in there. I loved how they really chemistry, how they really interacted with each other. When they argued with each other, it felt real, guys. And come on, when they made up, it felt real, guys. I mean, it's this whole relationship concept of just understanding relationships. It's a tough cookie, man. It really is. It's one of those things to where every relationship's different, including ours, including yours, including every single person out there. Every relationship is so complex and so different that us as humans try to understand, try to aspect that point of view. But unless you've lived it, that's when you really fully understand and appreciate moments, whether they're good or bad, and you really understand the relationship. And that's the whole point as an audience, as a viewer, that we try to grasp that comparison, and we try to grasp that realism, and we try to grasp that, okay, if that happened in you guys, like watching it on a third point of view, it really brings perspective into you know.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's just giving me the look the whole time. But yeah, I give it a solid 7, guys. Alamo City Movie Talk does recommend this movie, guys. If you have not already, be sure to check this movie out. This movie comes out on Netflix, original, February 5th, 2021. All right. Any final thoughts?
Definitely give it a try. Don't be scared that it's no action, all dialogue. Yeah. It is definitely compelling. You know, it kept me entertained.
And we're gonna understand. Put it on comments down below. Maybe you thought it was boring. Let us know in the comments down below. We completely understand, guys. And everyone has their own point of view of this. And I feel like this is a work of art, just like every other film. But yeah, there has to be a reason. You can't just say it's boring. But yeah. All right, if you have not already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like a review, guys. Have yourself a wonderful day. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Have a good one, guys.